8 early brain warnings you must not ignore after 50. There's a quiet kind of fear that creeps in as we age, the fear that our mind might slip before our body does. You misplace your keys, forget an appointment, lose a word mid-sentence. You tell yourself it's nothing until it's not. I'm just tired, distracted, aging, maybe. But science is painting a different picture. What we often dismiss as harmless forgetfulness may actually be the earliest signs of cognitive decline, the kind that begins slowly, subtly, and silently. Today, we'll uncover 8 research-backed, medically recognized early warning signs that your brain may be shifting. Signs most people ignore until the damage becomes real. And if you catch them early, there's a powerful opportunity to slow, even prevent long-term decline. We'll also bust the most dangerous myths, like this is just normal aging, or just do more puzzles. If you care about staying sharp, independent, and in control of your future, this may be the most important 10 minutes you spend a day. Oh, and before we begin, if you're someone who values practical, science-based health information that empowers you to age well, consider subscribing. And if something in this video resonates with you, leave a comment or simply tap the like button. It's a small action, but it tells the algorithm more people need to hear this. Let's get started. Your brain deserves it. 1. Your short-term memory fades faster than it should. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You put down your phone, then can't find it. You forget a conversation from this morning, but remember one from 1994. Short-term memory slips are common, but when they become frequent, happening several times a day and disrupting basic tasks, that's a red flag. A 2022 study from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors experiencing daily short-term memory disruptions were 5 times more likely to show measurable cognitive decline within 3 years. It's not about forgetting where you left the keys. It's about forgetting how they got there in the first place. 2. You lose track of time more easily. What day is it? Wait, is that appointment today or next week? Why is the sun already setting? Losing track of time occasionally is normal, but if you're regularly disoriented, missing appointments, mixing up months, or losing your sense of how long things take, that could signal deeper issues. The brain's internal clock is regulated by multiple regions, including the hippocampus. When these areas degrade, your ability to track time and place yourself in it begins to break down. A 2019 paper in Neurobiology of Aging showed that temporal disorientation was one of the earliest measurable cognitive changes in patients who later developed Alzheimer's. We often think cognitive decline begins with forgetting who we are, names, faces, birthdays. But in reality, it starts much earlier and far quieter. It begins with forgetting what just happened. And as these small slips accumulate, the next function to falter isn't memory at all. It's your brain's sense of time. 3. You struggle to follow familiar instructions. You followed the same morning routine for years. Make coffee, check your messages, feed the dog. But suddenly you pause. You're holding the coffee filter, unsure what step comes next. This isn't laziness or distraction. It's something called executive dysfunction, a breakdown in the brain's ability to plan, sequence, and complete multi-step tasks, even familiar ones. A study from Neurology Today in 2020 found that people over 55 who begin having trouble with everyday routines, such as preparing a basic meal or driving a familiar route, are 3 times more likely to develop diagnosable cognitive decline within 5 years. It doesn't mean you're incapable. It means your brain's internal GPS for decision-making may be skipping key steps. And that matters because our daily rituals are like neurological fingerprints. When they change, something deeper often is. 2. When your brain starts stumbling over the simple things, the next challenge is often less about what you do and more about how you react to doing it wrong. because sometimes the brain doesn't just forget. It covers its tracks with frustration, defensiveness, or silence. For subtle personality shifts, especially irritability, you've always been easygoing, patient, but lately, small things feel big. You snap at your spouse over the thermostat. You get flustered when someone interrupts you. Noise, clutter, delays, they all seem to hit harder. These aren't random mood swings. They're often early signs of changes in the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, impulse control, and self-awareness. According to a 2018 longitudinal study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, subtle personality changes, especially increases in irritability, anxiety, or apathy, frequently precede diagnosable cognitive impairment by several years. The hardest part? Most people don't notice these changes in themselves, but the people around them do, and often stay silent, unsure whether it's just aging or something more. Now, if you've ever had moments like this, where your own reactions surprise you, that's important. But sometimes the changes aren't in what you say or feel, they're in what you no longer do at all. 5. Losing interest in hobbies or things you once loved. You used to garden for hours. You couldn't wait to read the next novel. You always showed up for family game night. Now, it feels like a chore. Or worse, like nothing. This isn't just getting older. This is called anhedonia, a reduced ability to feel pleasure or motivation, and a well-documented early sign of cognitive decline. Not depression, not laziness. Neurological. A landmark study from the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease in 2022 found that older adults who showed decreasing engagement in previously enjoyed activities are at significantly higher risk for progression to dementia, even before any memory loss appears. The scary part? This symptom is often misdiagnosed as just being tired or needing a break, which delays proper screening and intervention. 6. Struggling to find the right words. More often, it's on the tip of your tongue. That word, that name, that phrase you use all the time. But suddenly it's gone. You reach for it, pause, fumble, then replace it with thing, stuff, or awkward silence. Occasional word finding difficulty is normal, but when it becomes frequent, especially with common words, it may indicate early changes in the language centers of the brain, particularly in the left temporal lobe. A 2020 study in Alzheimer's research and therapy revealed that increased pauses, substitutions, and hesitations in everyday speech were predictive of preclinical Alzheimer's up to 10 years before diagnosis. It's not just about forgetting vocabulary. It's about your brain slowing down and converting thought into speech, a red flag that too many ignore. When speech stumbles, thought often stumbles too. But it doesn't stop there, because sometimes your brain doesn't just slow down. It starts looping, replaying, overthinking, and not letting go. 7. Persistent overthinking or repeating questions. You ask, "What time is the doctor's appointment?" Then ask it again 5 minutes later. Even though you heard the answer, you dwell on whether you turn off the oven, check the door, lock the car. This is not just anxiety. It can be a sign of working memory overload, where your brain struggles to hold on to new information and defaults to looping behavior for reassurance. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic have linked repetitive questioning and obsessive checking to early disruptions in the prefrontal cortex, a hallmark in patients developing cognitive impairment. If your thoughts feel stuck on repeat, your brain may be signaling it's working harder to keep up. And while these symptoms seem mental, sometimes the warning comes from your body first. Subtle, physical signs that the brain is misfiring beneath the surface. 8. Small changes in coordination or balance. You stumble slightly when turning a corner. Miss a step you've taken 100 times. Drop objects more often than usual. These aren't just clumsy moments. They may be early signs of dysfunction in the cerebellum and basal ganglia, brain regions deeply involved in both motor control and cognitive integration. A pivotal 2023 study in JAMA Neurology confirmed that mild gait abnormalities and fine motor delays are correlated with future cognitive decline, even when memory still appears intact. In short, if your body's rhythm feels off, your brain might already be struggling to coordinate more than just movement. Conclusion: what now? These signs are not meant to scare you. They're meant to empower you. Cognitive decline is not a cliff, it's a slope. And the earlier you recognize the incline, the better your chances of slowing it. So if any of these signs feel familiar, don't panic. But don't ignore them either. Talk to your doctor, track the patterns, and start doing what the science says can help. Exercise, nutrition, social engagement, cognitive stimulation, and yes, even some high-quality YouTube videos. If you made it this far, it means you care, not just about memory or brain health, but about staying informed, sharp, and empowered. If this video brought you value, please consider leaving a comment, hitting the like button, and subscribing to the channel. Not just for me, but so others can find this information too. Sometimes one video, one fact, can change someone's future. Maybe today, that future is yours.